Okay, everybody. Good morning. I'll go ahead and just kind of start real quick, just with regards to playing Detroit. Well-coached unit, a lot of experience. I think they only have 2 players in their core that are in their second year. Other than that, they're all 5, 6, 7-year players. So they got a lot of experience. And then the returner, the Raymond kid, is explosive, electric, and dynamic. Just some of the adjectives I used with our guys. Really good player. And their specialists, kicker hasn't missed anything yet, and Fox, the punter, is a guy that can flip the field in 2 seconds. So as we talk about Detroit, we're still trying to make it about ourselves and us just kind of getting a little bit better. So with that, I'll answer any questions.
Sam's obviously a guy you spent a lot of time with. How awesome was it to see him make that 99-yard interception return? And you've probably hinted at this a couple of times that he's going to make some plays defensively. Guy
makes plays, and no, I was really excited for him. In fact, when he caught it and took off, I think when he got to about our 30, I already said on the headset, I said, get the field goal team, here we go, because it was a quick turnaround, and really happy for him. It's nice to see him make a play.
And then how about Deshaun running down the field to make that block at the end of that return?
Excellent. It's great when you see those things, and that obviously gives our team a boost and a lift right there, so that was fun to see.
Eddie's 56-yarder at the end of the half should have given him a boost. How comfortable are you extending him out to 60 or 65 yards?
Well, I think it kind of depends on the day. I was really proud of that kick because he was a little bit into the breeze there. But I think every game's different. Obviously, we'll play here in the Dome, and we'll see what it's like in there. I don't think wind's going to be real bad on Sunday. But no, I'm comfortable with Eddie. He makes a lot of kicks in practice, and I think that sometimes people overreact if there's a miss. I always like to think what's the body of work, and I see the body of work through the week. So I like where he's at. There's still some things that he needs to clean up and tighten up on, but hopefully he keeps kicking well.
What does he need to clean up?
Well, there's just some technical things that I think what we try to do and just try to stay up on is a guy can be in a nice rhythm, but you might begin when you break the tape down, he might be making kicks, but what are those makes? Are they we call them either a really good kick, we call it a 1 ball, or 2 balls, maybe slight right, or 3 balls. It's really not a good hit. And then you start looking at the breakdown of why is that happening, and maybe his jab's a little long or something along those lines, just to keep everything tight. And it's a long season, so when those things come into play, hopefully you've addressed it before it becomes a real problem.
Dave, you said last year you referred to it as return season. When the weather gets colder, kicks get shorter, more opportunities for returns. How does that work for kickers? Does the range automatically shorten up the deeper into the season you get?
It can, but it's always going to be dependent upon the day. I always used to say this when I was a cold weather coach, was when you maybe punting in December and you're facing a really, really good returner and everyone's talking about the returner. In reality, you kind of thought, well, he might not be in play because the ball, it's going to be cold, it doesn't compress, it doesn't travel as far. So in theory, we don't have to run as far, and we're closer to him, so his chances become limited. That's to me that's real. But for kickers, like I say, I mean, a day here in October is totally different than a day in Chicago or Cleveland. So you just have to kind of play whatever it is.
So you're a part-time weatherman in addition to special teams coach?
I do watch the weather on a daily. Obviously, I didn't watch it this week. I think we should be good.
I think you had DJ Johnson on a couple units last week. Just your assessment of how he did.
He played well. We gave him. He did a nice job on one of the kickoffs. He was really responsible there for the tackle, and he's a big guy that can run. And I think that was showcased on the kickoff team how fast he got down there, and then just playing with his hands and being able to use those, what I like to say, outside linebacker skills to come into play. And he's a young player that's learning how to play special teams. So it was nice to get him out on the field and to kind of get him wet a little bit there. So that was a good step for him.
How would you assess Smith-Marset right now and how he's doing?
I really like his decision-making process. I think has been really good. I think that he's a natural catcher. very smooth at what he does. Last week, the thing I really liked, it was catch, and we're getting vertical. And I think, we're always trying to establish that first down. And I like to look at the end of the game, did we do that? And he did that last week. So I saw him progress. He's another player that hasn't played a lot, and I think the only way to get better is to actually play. And there's always sometimes going to be growing pains and those things, but I like where he's trending.
How close is Tariq Cohen to making his Panthers debut?
I think those things are still always, he's working at it, just like anybody on the P squad at this moment. And I always say, I mean, you might not project him right now, but boom, there he is. He's ready to go, and it's just there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Is one of them tapes just the idea that he'd almost have to be kind of in the game plan offensively, or could he come up just as a returner?
Oh, I think it could be either way, and I think the thing about it is, and I know I understand the questions, and he's doing great, but at the same time, he hasn't played in 3 years, and I think once he's been with us now, maybe 4 weeks, so let's say he's just now finishing training camp. You have to kind of put it in that picture for the player, but he's doing great. I mean, I love chasing him around with our punt team. That's a good thing, and he's fun to have around. I mean, I know I talked about it earlier, but he's a true pro. He's a great guy. He brings a lot of energy, and he's a funny guy now, and so guys gravitate towards him. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.